dear hearts. All right, we're on lesson 335. I'm kind of excited about today's lesson. We had our preview, okay, to it at the end of yesterday's lesson. Today's lesson is I choose, remember that word, to see my brother's sinlessness. Now, at the end of yesterday's lesson, in the prayer portion, it says, today I would behold my brother sinless. This is your will for me, so will I behold my sinlessness. My Father's will for me is for me to know who I am. That's why we have that lesson, I am as God created me, repeated so many times in so many ways throughout the entire workbook. It's so important for us to know that, for us to know ourselves. Often, we see things in ourselves after we have recognized them in our brother. This is one of those examples. I choose to see my brother's sinlessness, and it begins that forgiveness is a choice. Why is forgiveness a choice? Forgiveness is a choice because in the realm of heaven, it is not necessary. Forgiveness is not required if there has never been a grievance or a judgment against anyone or anything. So forgiveness is the choice that I make here in what we would call the separated world, when the place that I am, where I do not believe that I am as God created me. So forgiveness is a choice. I never see my brother as he is, for that is far beyond perception. In this world, my eyes only perceive. What I see in him is merely what I wish to see because it stands for what I want to be the truth. What I want to be the truth, not what is the truth. If I am using the body's eyes, I am seeing with the eyes of judgment, the eyes of the ego. I will never see my brother's sinlessness that way. I must use the eyes of Christ in order to see my brother's sinlessness, that indeed I will know my own as well. It is to this alone that I respond, however much I seem to be impelled by outside happenings. It's always my thought. It isn't really what is going on out there. It's the thought that I'm having about what's going on out there. Spoiler alert, there's no out there. But that has yet to stop any of us. So the lesson continues. I choose to see what I would look upon, and this I see, and only this. This is, again, we could go to that story. I don't know if I've referenced it this year. The Native American story of the two wolves. And the child says to the grandfather, "Grandfather, I seem to have two wolves inside of me vying for my attention. And one is about holiness and great spirit, and one is about attack and anger. Which one will survive?" And the grandfather says, "The one you feed." That's the one we feed. I choose to see what I would look upon, and this and only this. If I am feeding my belief in my brother's sinfulness, that is what I will see. So I choose to see my brother's sinlessness today, right now. My brother's sinlessness shows me what I would look upon my own. I can see my sinlessness as I see my brother's, and I will see it having chosen to behold my brother in its holy light, in my brother's holy light, the light that he is, as the light of the world. I choose to see that and only that. The second part of the lesson is the prayer. It says, what could restore your memory to me except to see my brother's sinlessness? In seeing that, it helps me to remember who I am. My mouth is lagging behind my thoughts. Who I am, and also that indeed I am as God created me. His holiness, my brother's holiness, reminds me that he was created one with me, and like myself, we both are as God created us. We are intrinsically locked together. We are one. I am one with my brother. I am one with all of God's creations. I will not separate my brother out of the all that is. In him, in my brother, I find myself, my big S self, my true self. And in your son, I find the memory of you as well. Just for the moment, to go back to our relevant thought, the first line in paragraph 3 says, the Son of God is egoless. Yes, without an ego, there is no sin. Without an ego, there are no judgments. Without the ego, I hold no grievances. Without an ego, I only will see the light that is around me. I will see God's creations everywhere. I will see the light in God's creations everywhere. I will see the equality and the union in all of God's creations everywhere. So the Son of God is egoless. So I choose to see my brother's sinlessness, because without an ego, he is indeed sinless. So that's it for today. I hope this helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe. Don't think I said that. And please do. It would be lovely to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this calendar year. Gobsmacked again. And please pray. Please pray. Pray for what we have, for what we do not know, but pray for what is. Namaste.